Hello everybody, this is Scott Sharp with Fretboard Toolbox, and today I'm going to attempt to show you my, the 6 main chords that make up the key of G major, which I can for sure show you the six chords that make up the key of G major, but how to play them on the tenor, I will do my best and show you the easiest ways I've found to play them. And I'm also going to try to show you the 7 chords too, like a G7, A minor 7, etc., because those get played so often in tenor music and old-timey music. So I've got a lot to show you today, so I'm going to get started as quick as possible. We'll be looking at the essential CGA fretboard toolbox and the complete CGDA, which that tuning works for guitar, tenor banjo, and mandola. If you haven't looked into it much. But what we're going to do is start out with learning those 6 main chords that make up the key of G major, and then I'll show you the easiest way I've found to play each of them. So the first one is G major is made, G major chords are called the 1 chord in the key of G major. And then you've got a 2 chord, which is A minor, a 3 chord that's B minor, 4 chord is C major, 5 chord is D major, and the 6 chord is E minor. And let's forget the 7 chord for today. So we've got these 6 main chords that make up the key of G major. Notice that 3 of them, called the 1, 4, and 5, are major chords, and 3 of them are minor chords, and those are called the 2, 3, and 6 chords are minor chords. So this complete edition is going to show you all the same stuff the Essential does. The Essential just shows you with these colored circles. But the complete edition has a lot more keys. So Essential only has 5 keys. But it has the 5 most common major keys. So like everything else, it's give and take, and you'll have to just see if there's either of them that you find useful. Okay, so to get started, we want to play a G major chord. It's going to be made of the notes G, B, and D. The good news is that's how it's made on every instrument in the world. Always the notes G, B, and D. Okay, so G, B, and D. It's in the 1, 3, 5 columns. And so that's out of Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. It's the first. So here's the first is G, that's Do. 2 is Re. 3 is Mi. 4 is Fa. So, or Sol, La, Ti. So it's the 1st, 3rd, and 5th, G, B, D. Why does that matter? Because if you can see where are G, B, and D notes found all over, the chord shapes start to take on a whole new meaning. So I can play, the easiest G major to play is 2nd fret, open, open, 2nd. And the easiest way for someone to teach you that is say, go 2nd, open, open, 2nd. And then you say, okay, cool. And then you go back home and it's like, what was that, 3rd, 2nd? Well, I can't remember how that went. But when you know the notes that make up the chord, then it's really cool because you can see, oh, okay, so it's just G, B, and D notes. That's why this chord shape works. Or if someone says, oh, well, I play G like this, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 2nd. And you can look and say, okay, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 2nd. All right, that makes sense to me. Someone else might say, well, sometimes I like to play 7, 7, 5, 5, and because that's still just using notes that are from using the notes G, B, and D, and so that's how we're playing G major chords. When you want to play a G7 chord, what you're going to do is add to the 1st, 3rd, and 5th note what's called the flat 7 note. So 7 or dominant 7 chords use the 1, 3, 5 notes and what's called a flat 7. So G7 is going to be G, B, D with an F. So anytime somebody shows you a G7, they're playing some combination of G, B, D and throwing in an F. So the easiest one I found is I've got that 2-finger G already, and then if I throw on this F, I can throw it on with my pinky, I can throw it on with my ring finger. But listen to the sound of a 7. G, G7. There's an anticipation that comes with that. It really makes you want to go to something like a C chord. Okay, so let's go take a look at a C chord and see what that's made of. C majors are made of the notes C, E, and G. And if I click on that, the easiest C major chord is open, open, 2nd, 3rd. And notice that chord still sounds good with the G chord. So G, C, G, C, all day long you can play those. And then if I want to play a C7, a C7 is going to be made of the notes C, E, G, that's my 1, 3, 5, plus a B flat. Okay, so now I want to look at that C major page and see where can I add on a B flat. So when someone teaches you, okay, so here's C major, but C7 is like this. So open, open, second, first. Well, if you look and see C, G, E, oh, okay, B flat. So if I was playing the C major here, and then change that C to a B flat, now I've got a C7. So C7, any way someone shows you, somebody might play it like this, but then you just look and see C, B flat, E, C. Okay, so it's still the same kind of idea. Just C major chord with a B flat added. And then a D7, or a D major, is going to be D, F sharp, A. Okay, so it's going to be the orange circles. And then when we want to make it a 7, we're going to add a C note to it. So let's see if we can do that. Scroll down to the D here, and I can play D, A, D, A. That's one way. So here's G, C, D, back to C. I'm back to G, excuse me. But that D major had just the first and fifth note in there. So instead of the whole D, F sharp, A, it had just D and A. So it's really called a D5. Okay, so if you're just playing the first and fifth note out of something, it's called a 5 chord. So C5 would be just C and G notes only. G5 would be G and D notes only, etc. So we can play D like that as a D5. But then if I want to, well, let's hear, I don't know if I've tried this. So here's the D5, and then I'm going to see what adding that C sounds like to make it a 7. Yeah, that's really reasonable. So if you want to play that D5 like this, or D, count this as your D, and then throw a C on there, now you've got a D7. What I can also do is play a larger shape, D, A, F sharp, D. So like this. So 2, 2, 2, 4, 5. Then I've got a D7 right here. D, D7, back to G. Okay, so there's just lots of different ways to play these chords, but if you can see the notes that make up the chords, the shapes have some more meaning, at least is what I would argue. And so now let's look at a couple minor chords. Minor chords are going to be just like major chords in that they use the 1 and 5 notes, but minor chords, instead of a 3 note, they use what's called a flat 3. So A major would be made of A, C sharp, and E, because C sharp's in the 3 column. But A minor is going to be A, C, E. Okay, so A, C, and E is my A minor. If I want an A minor 7, I just need to add a flat 7 again. So A minor is A, C, E. A minor 7 is the red circles plus a G here, if you're looking at the Essential Edition. So let's see A minor. I could go open, second, second, third, like this. Now what's cool though is that if you look at what, like here was A, C, E, G, if you look at just the flat third, fifth, and flat 7 note, C, E, G, that's the same thing as a C major chord. So you can cheat if somebody's playing, if it goes from A minor to A7, if you've got a guitar and a bass and a lot of other folks playing in there, and over the A7, if you just play a C major chord, that'll still work out. And it works the same for B7, B minor 7, excuse me, is going to have D, F sharp, A. So that's going to have this D major chord. And then the E minor 7, if you just play the flat third, fifth, and flat 7th, it's going to be the same as a G major chord. So there's a reason for that. It's because each of those minor chords is the relative minor of one of these major chords. But if that doesn't make sense, just ignore that last sentence. So anyways, A minor is A, C, E, A minor 7, A, C, E, G. If I want to play an E minor to wrap it up here, I guess I should play a B minor real quick. I could go 2, 4, 4, 2. I could go 2, 4, 4, 5. So any way that I can just cover B's, D's, and F sharps, then I'm playing a B minor. And then for E minor, I could go 4, open, 2, 2, and that would look like this. There's G major. Back to G. So there's all these different chords are kind of like building blocks that can let you play in the key. So when I know that these are the chords that sound good together, then I can learn a lot of different ways to arrange them, and then when I know the notes that build the chords, then I can find lots of different ways to build them all up and down, and hopefully make some cool connections. So I hope you found something useful today, and if you did, please subscribe, and if you didn't, then, or if you did, let me know in the comments section what you liked and what you didn't, and I've got lots more videos coming on lots more instruments. Thanks for taking a look.